Hi guys, so new place. I am in my new stitchy spot, not stitchy spot, my new video spot. This is where I'm going to be recording right through Frostmas because it's the only place I can basically guarantee any light. Currently there is a very limited amount of daylight out here. It is Sunday, November the 23rd, and just coming up to 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's very grey, rainy, miserable day. I'm meant to be going shopping, but I thought I'd do this first. Now, quite a while ago, like 3 weeks ago maybe, more even perhaps, I recorded my sort of finish parade using my box of finishes, which is quite full, with a view to picking a piece to get framed for Christmas, because my parents, my mum particularly, my mum, she's brilliant. She takes a piece of my scabby cross stitch down to the really good framer in the village they live in, and he frames them, and I ask no more questions. I don't know how they're framed. I assume he glues them, but it's a beautiful job and he's really competent, so very happy. And I leave all the choosing up to my mum, but I filmed it and then I needed space on my camera roll, you know, the on my phone, the thing I'm looking at, my phone, and accidentally deleted it before I posted it, so oops. Anyway, we're going to do it again. So now these are finishes from basically the start of my cross stitch journey. These are the ones that are in here. I have gifted two, I think, one to my sister and one to my parents that are not obviously here. Those being an Emma Congdon piece, Don't Underestimate the Difference You Make. I did that for my sister a few years ago. You'll see it way back in a million floss tubes ago. And stitched in 2019 Renato Parolin's Christmas Tree, which I still can't believe I stitched and finished and framed in time for Christmas for my parents in 2019. It was an absolute ordeal, but I got it done. Anyway, still love it. It hangs all year round. You open their porch, you go through their porch into their house, and it is straight on the wall in front of you as you go in. So they hang it all year round, so I'm so pleased with that, which means they love it. I was like, you can put it up at Christmas, it's fine. And it's like, it's big because it's a huge piece. Anyway, everything else is here apart from one on the wall up there, two on the wall downstairs, and the two I've had reframed the last two Christmases, and Nightmare Before Coffee, which is on the tea and coffee cupboard downstairs. So this is everything else that I finished since I started cross stitching, I think. First thing I finished was this, and I think I saw this first. I don't know where it's from, who it's by, nothing. I dyed this fabric myself. I think it is 28 count Lugana. I saw it, I think it was, I'm trying to remember her name, Lindy Stitches, I think, stitched this, and I saw it and I was like, I love that. Never got it finished though. So anyway, here it is. And it reads, "Here lies my sleeping body, as lifeless as can be. If thou shouldst bring me coffee, I would spring to life with glee." Just, I think that's very fitting for me because I basically live on coffee. 2019, all finished. Never framed, not been ironed very recently. Anyway, so that's one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hoik everything out of the box. I even have a little, I'm on two bedside tables here that I've put alongside each other. One I'm sitting on with a pillow on it, and the other one is like going to be my bedside table surface. So I've got a surface. Right. Then everything else is going to be fairly randomised because they kind of are. Right. Here's some old ones. I'll pull some old ones forwards. Right. Okay. So I've got Sarah the Stitching Mummy. This is oh, these are all this is finished. These are all finished. Here is a Temperature Tree from 2020, which I didn't finish in 2020. I think I got to about April or May before I fell behind. Because I was working Monday to Friday, 9 till 5 at the time. I used to stitch this every Saturday or Sunday morning. I'd catch myself up, and then that all fell by the wayside. It was a very mild year, as you can see. 2020 was actually quite a hot year, but I took the medium temperature So I probably should have done highs because it would have been a very different tree. But I did the middle temperature, you know, the medium temperature for the day, and the average temperature. I even stitched a little keel on the bottom. It was 2020, we remember, lockdown year, boiling hot all summer long. I'd love to do another one of these. Obviously I've still got the pattern somewhere. I might not still have the pattern. Like, that's like 4 phones ago. Things got lost along the way. And then I've got this little doodlebug on a piece of fabric that's, yeah, been used for something else. And it was a little freebie, and we all stitched it, I think, that year. First year of Flossmas, 2020, 2021, can't remember. Anyway, it's this here. And all I did was use beads for the Christmas lights because I wasn't very confident with my knots, my French knots, but I just do them now. Anyway, so that's finished. Could do with being put in some sort of frame. There's something else on here as well, which I think is a little Shannon Christine freebie, but I think I made even smaller and gave away one year. Something in my brain's telling me that. Okay, I do have the window open because it was boiling hot. We've got the heating on at the moment. And then I've got this one here, which was an Etsy pattern, which is finished again. And I've put it in one of these flexible hoops, but you can see the problem with the flexible hoop. It's a little bit too big, and the next size down is a little bit too small. I need about 1 centimetre smaller than this hoop. But look, it's good, it's pretty. And finished, and I love it. And I love the cherry blossom. These came in all different colourways, and it took me a rather silly amount of time to get it finished. And I did put Smyrna crosses on the bigger stars, and this one here has a Smyrna cross in the middle, and I did put some sparkle on that one. Okay, Wilhelmina, Plum Street, with threads I had lying around. My very first dip into overdyed threads. Look at this. What is that? What is that blob? Heads up, I'm never framing this. What is the blob? I don't even know what the blob is. It's terrible. Anyway, next I've got Acceptance, which was a Michelle Bendy Stitchy. It was a quote from Michael J. Fox. This was for Parkinson's, and I love it, and I love the quote. And there it is. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means understanding that something is what it is, and there's got to be a way through it. And I love that, and I really should frame it. Again, that was just stitched with whatever I had lying around at the time on a piece of linen. Don't use linen a lot now. I used to stitch this in my lunchtime in my car when I worked at Winged Heart. I used to drive out in my car. I don't know why. Just to be a break, I think, to get away from the place for a break. And also when I worked there, I stitched this, which is a Renato Parolin. This is in copper, the colour is. It's 32 count. I can't remember which of the overdyed, but it's copper. Anyway, this is it. It's a row of bunnies. There's a whole load of mistakes in this, but I think this is going to be one of the ones that I take to my mum to get framed, because you can see it needs a custom frame. But it also has, I know from doing my other one, it's filthy. Look. Can you see there? There's a line there straight down. This side is dirty and this side is clean, so I'm going to have to try and wash this. Yeah, anyway, Renato Parolin, a whole line of bunnies and squirrels and owls and trees. I think that would go very nicely above the double doors into the conservatory, above like the patio doors that are on the inside of the house into the conservatory. We've got about gap about yon big, and I would actually say to my mum, I'd like a really like a chunky natural wood frame on this. I think would be perfect. So I'm going to leave that out. I'm going to see if I can clean it and give that one to my mum. That's what I'd like framed for Christmas. And then I've got a Barbara Anna one of Barbara Anna's Santas here, and a beautiful piece of sparkly, what's it called? Iridescent Lugana, and a lovely colour. Love this blue. Can't remember when I did this. Obviously I've done the correct colours and the DMCs there. Absolutely love that, and that's it in a frame. It's nearly finished. It's not as finished as one of the other ones I've got knocking in here, which I now can't find, which is somewhere. Oh, here. Because I've got the winter cat as well. Oh, he's a dog. The winter dog, which is in a piece of fabric that I've dyed myself. This is an FFO, one of the very few I have, but it's still just dumped in the box. This is the winter extra that came with the Four Seasons Girls, which I got as a kit from Nick Moscow. You can get the PDFs now, and they came with 4 extras, and I've got this one done, and I've got the autumn cat done as well. And of course, because I'm super clever, they're on different size fabric, so he's small and he's big. But what I'm thinking, so that was the autumn one that came with them, is I might put some Christmassy. I might put some things on the wall behind me. I could put these on the wardrobe doors. There's fitted wardrobes all the way along the side here, but I could hang them so that you're actually looking at something behind me. That would be good, but that one just needs its felt and twist and finish, which isn't beyond the realms of what I can manage to do. Okay, then we've got Fragile, Story Keep, one of the only Hades I've finished. Oh my goodness, my other one's not, oh no, it's here. One of my 3 Hades I've finished. This is the Story Keep of Fragile, Kirsten Mills. I still absolutely love this. This is 2/2 on a piece of 18 count Ada. Took me a ridiculous amount of time to do this because it was a paper pattern. I then purchased the PDF and finished it, but it was very laborious using the paper pattern. I cannot with full coverages with paper patterns. The world changed with Pattern Keeper basically, didn't it? Okay, then we've got some smalls. I have got a little tiny Mill Hill kit, and I passed the stash of this because I'd started stitching it on the same piece of, actually probably cut from, the same piece of iridescent Lugana, and he is just lovely. I love him, and there was enough left in the kit to pass it along the bus, and that was Flossmas year before last, so 2023's Flossmas. I finished him, start and finish, and that's lovely. Gave away the pattern finally. It took me a long time to post it. You'll know that about me if you know me. I get there, but it takes me a long time to post things. Sometimes I do it straight away, and sometimes it's a bit of an ordeal. Sadly, that's just how my brain works. So I really need to turn him into a little ornament back in the box. And same again here. This was in a World of Cross Stitch magazine, I think. Doves of Peace. They were little dingle dangles. I think it was meant to be in a card. Equally, just needs to be an ornament to pop on the tree. Still love that. It's quite small actually. That's nice. And then this little one was for the Australian wildfires. Just a little quickie, just with colours I had lying around. Do love it. I do have some smalls, not many. And then I've got Gerard. He was actually called Mr. Brown, I think. Now he was a pattern from Creative Poppy, not Creative Poppy. I've got that on the brain at the moment because I'm perusing Barbara Anna's before they get lifted off, because Creative Poppy is closing apparently. I didn't know. Having just bought a whole load of patterns from Creative Poppy, and I didn't go to the cover page. It just went straight to Barbara Anna. Anyway, this is from mybobbin.com, and he was called Mr. Brown, but I called him Gerard de Lelou. There was a backstory to it, but hey ho. Anyway, this was for Maddie when she went to university. Maddie has been to university. She finished her degree. She's been home 1.5 years, and she's still not got her cross stitch. I need to frame this and give it to her. Basically, that's all I need to do is frame it and give it to her. She loves it. I showed it her the other day and said, this was yours. He was meant to guard your loo, Gerarda Lou. Because at the time, she only, like a lot of kids, only ever done number 2s in the toilet at home and was moving out. So he was there to guard her. Anyway, again, if you've been with me from the beginning, you may or may not even remember this. I stitched it on floss tubes, so there he is, but never got gifted. He is laced very beautifully onto a piece of card. That does not fit the frame. I've got a frame, and he doesn't fit the frame because I laced him onto a piece of card that doesn't fit the frame. Why? Why did I do that? I need to unlace him now and lace him onto a frame, onto a piece of card that does fit the frame. Back in the box. Okay, what else have I got here? Oh, Halloween piece. This is from Lakeside Needlecraft. I bought the full kit, and it was the 2017, I think, Halloween sale. Obviously, I did mine in 2020. Full kit. This is 36 count pumpkin. It is the fabric flare, but they were exclusive to Lakeside Needlecraft. You can still get it from Lakeside Needlecraft. I'm sure Fabric Flare, there's the logo, do sell it anyway, and it was just called Pumpkin. And lovely, I love stitching on these fabrics, they're so lovely. And yeah, I actually have a frame for this. I got a frame in the charity shop with a lemon tree print in it, really mediocre kind of art print. Frame fits this perfectly. So of course I haven't framed it, and back in the box. Ooh, what have I got? Ooh, my only finished Nora Corbett is my E Mermaid, my letter E. Still not finished off, but all the beads, everything, all done. In real life, it doesn't show up any better than it does on the camera. Our colours were a bit too similar. This is one of my own hand-dyed funky fabrics. It's a linen. Then we've got an Emma Congdon, Live Gently Upon This Earth. It is 18 count silver sparkulader, and even though it is rigid, it's right up my street because I clamped them tight into a Q-snap, so it works for me. This is one of the noisy ones. When you're stitching on this, it's loud. It makes a real noise. Opalescent, that's the word, not iridescent. Anyway, the only bit that isn't full coverage is here, and the tops of Earth. Everything else is full coverage, so it didn't really matter that I'd used a sparkly Ada because you can't really tell because I've stitched. It's basically full coverage. Anyway, that is finished. It fits a 7x5 frame, and is it framed? Nope. Okay, then I've got Cowpile, which is again Plum Street. This is on a scrap of Weeks Dye Works linen, which is Witchold. I have learnt somebody's making a lot of noise in the bathroom. I have learnt that if you wash Witchold, all the starch comes out and it turns into this amazing floppy fabric, which again, I don't mind. I don't mind stitching on floppy fabric. I don't mind stitching on whatever this is, as long as it doesn't shred your thread. Anyway, I finished this off a little while ago. I don't even know when I finished it off, but I'm very, very pleased it's done. And there we go, that's Cowpile, Plum Street Samplers. I've also got the Sloths and one other maybe, but I'll probably never stitch them now. I've kind of moved on a bit from that sort of look. That's a Barbara Anna. Oh, I can put that upon. Oh, cracky, goodness. Right, next I've got two Jardin Privé. I had them as paper patterns. You can get any of theirs as PDFs, which are very good. These are the snow globes. This is Alice. Oh, I love this one. I believe I might have changed the colour of the cat to match the Disney Alice. I think. Can't quite remember now. These are quite old. These were just done on a mushroom 32 count Nagana. Would I use mushroom Nagana again? No. But Here's the one I wanted to do, the Little Red Riding Hood, which I love. I love the any Little Red Riding Hood pattern I generally love. I am only stitching, well, I've stitched this one and I've got Better to See You With, which, yeah, it's never gonna get finished. I changed the wolf to a grey wolf because the wolf was brown and I wanted a grey wolf, so I just pulled a grey and stitched my wolf in grey. They fit in frames very easily. I have frames for those back in the box. And then I have a finished Haid. This was a quick stitch. I have no idea of the details of it at all because I'm dreadful. No artist, no design, nothing. Here it is. It's beautiful. I stitched this when I met Richard. I stitched this in about a month. It is on 22 count hardanger, so it's one strand, 22 count. The iridescent is there. I believe it's Petite Treasure Braid and not, it might even be Diamond. It might be Diamond and not Croy Neck. I personally dislike Croy Neck. I stitched this because he had a little daughter who was into dragons, and then she went all black and gothic and went through a different phase, and this just didn't suit. By the time I'd finished it, it didn't suit. And then for a long time she was a bit wakey with me, so I never framed it, but I have it. I love it. Anyway, I did stitch that very, very quickly. Got a whole pile of Barbara Anna on my knees. And then I think we're almost down to things I've finished. This is this year's hands-on design Valentine freebie. You Have My Heart. As I was stitching that, Richard got ill. I can't look at it. And then, pretty much, other than Long Dog Samplers and Castle Walls, we are down to things I finished in Whipgo this year. So I'll show you these two because these two were before Whipgo. This is Castle Walls. I can find the right way up. Here is the right way up, and I love it. This is ink circles. My only I have stitched and finished another ink circles, but it got coffee spilt on the frame, and it was even framed and everything. Anyway, so Castle Walls. This is a bit of an epic piece. It is wonderful. I stitched this with sulky, a solid and a variegated. Again, this whole piece was progressed through my floss tubes. Issue here is I stitched it on 20 count Aida with sulky. For me, sulky 12 weight cotton is 18 count. 20 count is too tight. It was too much of a struggle. It's beautiful. The coverage is wonderful, but it was a struggle. I think I'm going to give this one to my mum to frame. I'm going to ask her if she would do two. If she would do two for me, because I'm going to be cheeky and ask. Because she usually does a really big one, but there's two quite small ones, one really small one and one medium one. And then the other one I've got here, they kind of go together because I finished them together, is Caroling Manning Designs Shooting Star. And I love this. I can frame this one myself basically because it's square. I just think Castle Walls deserves a really pretty frame because it's really lovely. This one is just square, so I can sort that out, no bother. I mean, that one's square too. I'm torn now. Anyway, this is 20 count, gridded Aida, 1/1. My absolute go-to. Stitches are beautiful, stitch definition is wonderful, coverage is exactly as I like it. You can see every stitch. Any smaller for me, I can't see the stitches. I want to be able to see my crosses. I put this much effort into stitching it, I want to be able to see my crosses. To be honest, the 22 count was a little bit small. Right. So in Flossmas, I keep saying Flossmas, in Whipgo, I'm thinking about Flossmas constantly because we're coming up, we are T-minus 7 days for starting Flossmas. That's why I keep saying it over and over again. So Whipgo this year, recent finishes, Tiny Modernist, Stitching Goddess. Finally finished. Am I going to stitch the other one on the other half of this fabric I dyed myself? Let me unfold it. No, I am not. I will, when I finally do frame her, I will cut the other half of the fabric off and I will use it for something else. Then I have got my Renato Parolin cushion here. Dinky Dye silk, 2 strands, millions of mistakes in this, paper pattern, because his patterns are paper. I've got a huge piece this side I can cut off and reuse for something else. I will eventually one day, not anytime soon, turn that into an oval cushion. Then I've got a Russian kit, Peaceful Street, 14 count Ada, very pretty. Hateful Ada, but very pretty. I'm so tempted to just stitch in, make it full coverage, and just stitch in all the white just so that it doesn't show, so that I can frame it and be happy with it, because it's ghastly. In it goes. This one I was going to frame straight away because I want it on my wall all the time. It's called Autumn Fox. I also need to trim the rest of this beautiful fabric, which is Be Stitch Me Scotsman. This is a 40 count. Lugana, absolutely amazing. There he is, my Autumn Fox. Again, was going to frame that straight away, wasn't I? In the box. And then I have finished box samplers. Right, my bugs. The bee, the butterfly, the ladybird, who has got legs, they're just in 823, and the dragonfly, and the wasp, and the spider. All finished. I need to get hoops for them. Big hoops, a pack of big hoops. Paint the hoops in some probably teal colour, probably in the diner, so it catches the light and is marvellous. And yeah, then we'll be done. Okay, and now we've got some long dogs. The little Slava Ukraini, which I did get done and finished. I won't ever frame that, but it's there and done. And then I've got this marvellous Shane Loop, something like that. The wolf looks at the moon, or something it's called. Anyway, I love this one. This is done with DMC Etoile and some silks and some rayon. The gold, which is shiny, is rayon sewing thread. I just used 2 strands of it and it worked out beautifully. And I've got the other half of this piece of grey mottly, I dyed it myself, mottly stuff to use up. I should frame that too. And then I've got 2 that will, these now, for my year of long dogs, my 3 problematic long dogs are going in my Whipgo. I'll show you my first long dog.
Come down now.
The first one I started, not the first one I finished, is my Pilgrim, which you really have to be very up close to see how wonderful it is. But it is a big. It's a big. It is that big. This is on 32 count Lugana. I dyed it myself with a pouch of Dylon purple, and it came out kind of magenta. And at first I didn't enjoy it. First I thought I really wanted a really bold purple, but the more I stitched on it, the more I loved it. Anyway, this is Sadie's Darling Silk, and it is wonderful. I just love it. I'm possibly going to ask for that one to be framed for my birthday. I'm just, because it's such a new finish, I'm just not quite ready for it to be framed yet. And then I've got 3 problematic long dogs. Sans Souci, which is my icon on all my username and everything. This is the one. I stitched this floss tubes in the space of, can you see my problem? In the space of about 6 weeks maybe. I stitched this in 2021, I want to say. Where's the date? Dated 2020 actually. And what I did with this was I printed out the paper pattern, I jigsawed it all together with sellotape, I drew lines on it with my quilting ruler, and each diagonal, each stretch, I just coloured in a colour using a dodgy kit from Amazon that I realised as soon as I'd ordered it, it was a horrible fake kit with, it was awful. It was a printed cross stitch and it was horrible. It was like a 4-panel tree of life, and I maybe stitched about 400 stitches on it and decided it was ghastly, and I'd already started changing it, which you shouldn't really do with a printed cross stitch. So I harvested all the threads and used them for this. I used them for good. Problem is I want to frame this. There is the problem. I have one stitch margin there, and only because I zigzagged over the edge did I not lose more. So I need to very, very carefully hand stitch cotton. I'm going to hand stitch cotton twill tape round the edge, and then I will be able to frame it, and I'll figure this out. So that's going in my Whipgo because I need to figure it out. Okay, my next slightly difficult one is here, Anzac. Only difficult because I have mislaid the pattern on an old phone and I have not done the back stitch. Oh, we're having a children's changeover. That's what's happening. Boys in, girl out. Oh good, and I'm upstairs filming. Cool. So that's cool. Anyway, yeah, I love this piece so very much. There's so much wonderful long dogness in it, and I wanted to stitch it because of the shark and the waves there. I still absolutely love it. This is Down Under Blues and Blue Groper, both dinky dyes, both one strand, over 2 on Lilac Sky, again, excuse me, Fabric Flare, Lakeside Needlecraft exclusive. Love it. Need to secure myself the pattern again and stitch the back stitch. And then I've got Opening Gambit, 3808, Berry Cobbler, Bestitch Me. Absolutely love it. There it is. Love it. I haven't done the back stitch. That's a Whipgo goal for next year. Do the bloody back stitch. And then I can get that one framed too. So there's my long dogs. So I've got a little pile of Barbara Annas to show you. And one more Emma Congdon. There goes the hashtag van life with the girl in it. Good. And both boys, I can hear both voices. Right, cool. Emma Congdon, Noel. This needs to be up there for Flossmas, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm going to get this framed. I'm going to frame this. I actually think I might have a frame that fits it. If I haven't, I will construct something that fits it so I can have it up on the wall for Flossmas. I love this piece so much. It was meant to be stitched in the NO and the EL above each other. I stitched them in a big long row and I love it. Right, that one's keeping kept out. Then we've got the original Dreaming Girl stitched on this tiny, tiny piece of opalescent Picture This Plus Gothic. One of my best fabrics of all time, and this is the only piece of it I will ever own. It's obsolete now, but I love it. Anyway, here we go. I took a long time to stitch this because I knew better and I changed all the colours. I love it, don't get me wrong, but my goodness me, it took me a long time to figure it out. Then we've got Sailing Girl. Oh, that needs fabric behind it. Hang on. There we go. Sailing Dreams, I think. I love this. Navy blue. See, this will fit in a frame. I have a frame for the Dreaming Girl as well. I'm dreadful at not flipping framing things. Then we've got Cosmic Dreams, which is tiny, and I need to put in a hoop. And then very recently, a very recent finish, start and finish, is Cosmic Dreams 2 for Space September. I stitched it along with Adelaide and I got completely obsessed with it, finished it. I over-dyed a piece of Old Ada to make it spacey but not too dark. There, that's a really good representation of it. Oh, look, the light got it then, before the light got it. Great, there we go. And then two quite recent, I've got this one here, which is the Father Christmas on the snail, pulling the little castle. I finished this not in Whipgo, but it's recent. By recent I mean within the last year and a half I finished that. Keeping him out, going to frame him for my Barbara Anna stuff. And then this one here, which I adore and will be framing and putting behind us for Christmas. It's called Christmas Cake, I think. It's the cake stand. And it's on a piece of Picture This Plus Dwarf. Again, this is the size piece I had. Again, it's opalescent. This is from picking up little tiny pieces here and there. It is a grey blue. It's beautiful, actually. It gets washed out very quickly, but I mean, I could put it there. I could put it there. I could put it here. I could frame it and put it there on the thing, and then at least the light catches it quite nicely. So I just love the Barbara Anna details in this. Oh, I love it. No initials, no time, no date, nothing. I'm going to keep it out because I'm going to finish it. Just look at these little ornaments hanging here. The way the heart's outlined, and I just love it. So there we go. That is my finished box. My box of finishes. I have a few dotted around the house, as I say, but there's the box. I'm not inserting any pictures. I am literally going to upload this video directly to YouTube, so there's not going to be anything edited at all. I've done it in a one-er. I'm just going to check the volume on it's good, and we'll be good. And hopefully when I'm back to do my floss tube, I might well be here. I'll probably be in the conservatory actually next time, because I'm off Wednesday, so I can film on Wednesday during the day, nice and quiet. And I'll see you then for my normal floss tube, and maybe today, maybe tomorrow, I will film my long dog one as well, showing you how to upload without the mistakes in the long dog pattern keeper patterns, which, yeah, I've done, but I'm going to redo much better so that I'm comfortable with it, because I hummed and hard for so long that I know I need to redo. So I'm going to do that. So as far as Christmas goes, I'm going to give both of these to my mum. I'm going to wash this first because this is minging. I'm going to go downstairs now and try and wash this. I'm going to give these to my mum and go, could I have two, please? Could I have two? And then we'll see. And then I'm going to finish these, fully finish these. This one is already fully finished. And I'm going to put them up in my Flossmas spot. I don't think we're going to have much going on. I might hang some I might put some lights up. I got a curtain of lights last year, didn't I? They were stars. I might put them behind for Flossmas. I have got plugs down here, so that's good. But we'll see how we get along. But maybe we'll just have stitching behind us. This is the Diner acrylic, where it's like the chameleon mica. It's got chameleon mica powder in it. It's two colours. Anyway, I love it. Ta-da! He needs finishing, so I've got that, I've got this one, I've got that one. They're all bloody Barbara Annas. I've got a Christmas cake, red I think. I'll just paint whatever it is I put it in. And green. And Noel. So one that isn't Barbara Anna and all the rest are. So I've got things to do, things to drop at my mum's, and that's us. We're all done. Hope you enjoyed looking at the things I finished in, well, since 2019 really, give or take the biggies, the couple I've gifted and the biggies that are hanging up already. And I've got 3 long dogs to go in my Whipgo box for next year because they need tackling. Okay, I will see you Wednesday for my normal floss tube, the last one before Flossmas. Until then, I just got to get on with everything I need to get on with right now. I will see you soon. Bye bye.